Hey everybody, it's Milo here, and I'm back doing the finals of GP Cube. I'm joined with Aaron,
Hello, everybody.
and we got Mark, the Last Boss Anderson versus Nick.
Will Mark Anderson, the reigning Cube champion, be dethroned?
Nick doesn't have a plan turn one or turn two.
That's a lot different from the last match. Ken's got to be like, how come you didn't do that against me? Like, come
Yeah. We got a Nezumi Grave Robber from Mark. Now that is the original version of Transform that you're looking at here.
Yeah. You got to flip the card around, read it upside down, and
It was an
That's a cool
interesting
card.
idea.
Mhm.
You know,
I prefer the transform where you actually get the back, where you get the full card on each side. But
well, so long.
yeah,
It's been real. Get2 Slinger's got a thing or two to say about an Izumi Grave Robber.
Yeah. And seeing Nick's deck from last round, we know there's a lot more of that coming. A lot of creatures that deal direct damage by themselves. Will he keep it? So this is an echo creature, so he has to pay the 3 mana to keep the Grey Ogre around, and he does.
We can see
Against a
how-
Lotleth Troll, which has Regenerate. So
Yeah, not
doesn't
doing
seem
a
the
lot there.
best, yeah. But he thought it was worth it, so.
He's got a Hellrider in his hand. He didn't have a land, I don't think, until he drew. So
So he may not have had a play. Because he also has the Kieran and Nalar,
yeah,
which is just an excellent card. You want to cast that kind of as soon as possible.
he presses with the Lotleth Troll. Well, it's still early in the game.
I guess maybe he's tapping out. He's not going to, or yeah, he's using his black mana, so he wouldn't have their generate, so he wouldn't block anyway.
Well, he's still got black up.
He does.
But Scavenging Ooze does the trick, and that's could be a 3/3 because he's got the Nezumi Grave Robber to exile.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not worried about that. Get2 Slinger! I don't know why I emphasized that. I felt like it needed it.
I like it.
Which
That's good.
deck of these two decks would you rather be playing?
I haven't looked at Mark Anderson's deck too closely, but I've seen a few of the cards in it, and I would probably be playing Mark Anderson's deck. Aggro is kind of all in, right? And if the games don't go well, if you don't have that 1/2 drop combo, sometimes you could just lose because the other deck is going to have better late game. And Mark seems to have some life gain and some better late game. We can see the Wretched Confluence in Mark's hand, and that's something that's just going to destroy Nick. Like, that's going to kill 3 creatures.
Yeah, that's a Wrath. Instant speed Wrath.
One-sided.
Yeah.
So, and we can also see the Skin Render, which is built in 2-for-1. So, but with with Nick's, like, he was a little bit slow there, so that might cost him. But he has a lot of 2-for-1s too. That hopefully we're in for good games and a match here.
Another thing you can do with the Wretched Confluence is that you can discard all the creatures in your hand to lot the troll and bring them all back and discard them again.
Oh, just getting the free 1/1 counter, just making a huge trampling regenerator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Lotless Troll was spoiled and it was an RTR card, and everyone was just like, this thing has trample. Like,
Yeah.
how are we going to stop it? Like, it was like, pre-selling for like $20. No one could believe it. And I don't
It
think
is a lot of action for 2 mana.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the thing with RTR. Like, remember Deathrite Shaman? I was like, geez, how many things are you going to put into something that's barely 1 mana?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a Collective Defiance here. 1 and 2 red, escalates for 1 colorless, and then you choose 1 or more. And it looks like he's going to do the 4 damage to a creature and 3 damage to the player.
Yeah. Getting rid of that, or trying to get rid of that Scavenging Ooze. Technically, Mark could discard some creatures and exile them, but he would have to do that twice to save the Ooze, and he doesn't. So get rid of it now. It's gaining him life. And he'll take 3 to the face for good measure.
Oh, and he's got the Reckless Bushwhacker that's going to pump his whole team.
So this is like the Goblin Bushwhacker, but instead of Kicker, it has Surge. So it's only 2 mana to cast because he's already done it.
Oh, but we got a Malicious Affliction.
Yes, and the Morbid triggers because the Scavenging Ooze has died.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to get rid of the Get2 Slinger and
Oh.
Pia and Kieran Nalar and just take the 6.
I feel like they've started their hand with 14 cards. All these cards are 2-for-1s.
Yeah.
Like,
It's true. That's funny. But that's cube. Like that's the main archetype in cube is like, can my thing do more than one thing?
Yes, that it's the goal anyway that you're aiming for. It doesn't always happen.
And if your thing doesn't do more than one thing, you gotta have it's got to do something.
It better
really
be
powerful.
pretty powerful. Exactly.
Yeah.
Its stats better be really good.
You got a Phyrexian Rager. Not the best card to play against Nick, but it'll do.
Yep. There's another true formula. Like it's replacing itself. He's gonna block something, kill it, and still coming in with the troll. Nick's probably happy to see that.
Yeah, probably.
Just like, all right, great.
If I was Nick, I wouldn't be happy to see that because I'd know that
Mark's got something up his sleeve.
yeah.
Mark has a game plan of his own. Huh?
Mark doesn't just mess around.
Well, Nick's gonna cast more than one spell here.
It's got a Hell Rider and a Porcelain Legionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad Hell Rider doesn't give all your creatures haste.
Yeah, that's what that card needed to do. It had to be better.
Oh, we got a Fiery Temper. He's just going to go in with these guys.
For 4.
Oh, Bile Blight. Hitting both tokens.
Oh, because it's the token. They have the
share
same name. Yep.
Yeah. And we got a Snuff Out. Wow, that's taking 4 life for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, really, it's only paying 2,
yeah.
Right? Because he was going to take 2 anyway.
We got Porcelain Legionnaire. This is a good game.
Yeah.
I'm like excited to see what's going on here. Plus the Lotless Troll now, the first strike of the Porcelain Legionnaire means that he'd have to discard.
We know the
3
skin
cards.
render's coming though. We've seen the skin render's hand, so that's going to deal with the Legionnaire and.
That's a lot of main deck removal. Maybe he just drew all the removal in his deck, but that's a lot. There's also the Wretched Confluence.
Oh, he's choosing to do that. Interesting.
Nope.
Oh yeah. I think the skin render here is a better play. He extends his board. He wipes Nick's board out. Nick only has 1 card in hand.
I think the idea, yeah. So he wants to get both of his creatures back.
Okay, so he's drawing 2 cards
He's
here.
Gonna get the Phyrexian Rager and the Scavenging Ooze. But he's going to just ditch the Rager to put a counter on there because Nick's at 9. He wants.
Oh, and the Scavenging Ooze now is going to gain him a lot of life and become massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Nick being at 9 means that he just needs to hit him 2 more times or 3 more times with the Lotless.
Some work.
Oh, Hell Rider coming in.
Yep, for 4.
Bring Mark to 3. That is a dangerous number to be against a red opponent.
Yeah. There's the Ooze. Oh, and Lifelinker.
Yeah, gifted Etherborn. That was a nice draw. Because also he only had to tap black mana for that. So he could keep his green mana untapped for the Scavenging Ooze.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so close yet so far.
I know. He's got the Magma Jet and a Flame Tongue Kavu in his hand.
So who's he gonna? Is he gonna hit the Lifelinker or the Ooze? Lifelinker.
Goes with the Lifelinker. Doesn't want Mark to.
Because now the Hell Rider. Oh no, but he'll gain life from the Ooze. Interesting.
It was a tough decision.
Yeah. Yeah. He might be able to get rid of the Lotless Troll here too, though. Like he was gonna double pump the Scavenging Ooze. He could use the Magma Jet and wipe out the Lotless Troll.
Yeah, he's only got 1 card in hand, right? Which is Wretched Confluence, but Nick doesn't know that. If it's a creature, then he's...
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He could discard.
That's right, he discard. He doesn't need any mana cost at all.
Mark going up to 4. Blocks the... And then he's going to use the Magma Jet to finish off the Scavenging
Yep,
Ooze.
and scry the 2, so he gets something that will be good on top. That's a good one.
Sulphurous Vortex.
Or he thinks it's a good one, but it won't be able to do it.
Because he's got the Skin Render, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was the Wretched Confluence, but yeah, he played the. He goes in for 3. Nick draws Sulphurous Vortex.
Good game. He needed a Sulphur Vortex just a couple turns earlier to shut down the Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah,
and get
that was a tough match for Nick. Like, he made a lot of moves that he thought were correct,
good, and then Drew he was just that turn behind. Not having a turn 1 or turn 2 play hurt.
Yeah, so we're gonna go take a look at game 2 here.
Because really, that's all it was. He just had to get that 2 more damage through earlier on, because then he could have finished him off with the Magma Jet.
Mark's got an
perfect mana, just like right off the top.
Oh,
very nice.
And you can. It's not like leveling up with like the Rise of Eldrazi. It's you can do this at instant speed.
Yes.
You got a Firebolt. That's a sideboard option from Mark. Worked out. It's not in his main. Sulphuric
Vortex. Here we go.
The race is on. This used to be the card that LSV said was the #1 pick in every cube.
Interesting. Well, I think it's the #1 pick if you plan on going red aggro. It's gotta be the best red aggro card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just making sure that players can't gain life. And turn 3, this is going to deal... Like, it's going to deal Nick quite a bit of damage too, but it's probably going to get in for about 10 on Mark.
3 mana for 10 damage is pretty good.
Yeah, and no life gain, so... Which is big with the Scavenging Ooze, really...
and he doesn't know about he doesn't know about the Thrag Tusk that Mark has either.
Mm-hmm.
But... The winner of this tournament actually gets a golden ticket from Channel Fireball. It's a Channel Fireball supported event. Mm-hmm. Big thanks to them for letting us run it. The golden ticket is free entry to any GP for the next year.
Oh, amazing! Wow.
Yeah,
that's right, because they're doing all the GPs now. So that's a decent prize, and the signed mat with all the squirrels.
Yeah, definitely. You can see they're signed at this point.
Yeah.
I signed the one whose butt you can see only. Guess where
that
O is.
The butt end. Milo.
Oh, he's discarding a creature to the lot list.
Did you catch what creature that was?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't. Oh, it was a Solemn Simulacrum.
Mm.
I guess he's just... There's a Sulphuric Vortex in play.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's too slow for me. I can only cast creatures that kill other creatures. That's all I'm going to do from now on.
That's a good play. All right, so Nick is falling down to 13 here.
We can see he's got
He has 2 1/1 flyers, 2 Terminator 2 flying tokens.
Evasion's pretty good on your creatures.
Have we seen a flying Terminator yet? Oh, we just made our own movie.
How many Terminator movies have come out? Quite a few. 5? 5 movies?
Maybe 6 with this Terminator Salvation.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking Genesis.
Yeah.
All right, so he plays the Ire Shaman face up, even though he had that extra red mana. That's interesting.
That would have, if he morphed it, he would have been able to play the top card of his library.
Yeah. And it would get a +1/+1
counter
because it's Megamorph.
Megamorph.
Do you think they could just put Mega in front of everything? Like Mega Flying, where it flies over
the flying? I think there is, I didn't have a problem with the way Megamorph played, but the name was a little bit cheesy. I think Wizards got enough backlash over that they're going to cut it out there.
Although I said the same thing when they said Double Strike was coming out, and I was like, oh yeah, double flying.
Double fly.
Double horsemanship. My favorite is Double Rampage, which is just Rampage 2.
What did Rampage do again?
Every creature blocking it beyond the first was... It gains +X equal to the Rampage.
Okay, so it wasn't counters, it was just until end of turn.
Yeah.
So green has kind of adopted that ability in that, it can't be blocked by more than one. Well, red is like Menace, green is the opposite, where it can only be blocked by one creature. So that's cool that Rampage has kind of lived on in that sense.
So it looks like Nick's going to take the 3 damage from the Lotlet Troll and chump block the Skin Render. Better than chump blocking the Lotlet Troll, because it has Trample.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that turned out to be a mistake, because of course Mark has the
Malicious Affliction.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone play the card to such success.
Well, Mark is using it quite well. Live and learn.
I know. Every time I have it, I'm like, how come I can't get another creature to die?
I found when I was playing my cube, I was just hitting too many. I was playing black opponents too often, and it was like, I can't kill that. I need to kill that, but it's black, and I was kind of spinning my wheels that way. But against red aggro, it's really doing work.
Especially in a cube like this, where creature combat is so important to the game.
That's right. There's maybe in this one, there's a lot more creatures dying on a regular basis than other cubes as well.
I mean, I feel like the format is good when a Flame Tongue Cavern could kill a Skin Render. Like, all these creatures are just killing creatures when they enter the battlefield. Seems like a healthy format. Oh, we got Llanowar Wastes. What do you think of the Pain Lands?
Oh, they're fantastic. If they come into play untapped, you get the mana if you need it. 1 life, usually you're using that earlier on in the game, is usually it won't affect the game too much, and they give you the colorless, which are great for the new Eldrazi, where you need to have a colorless.
Yeah, all of these points are good points. Yeah. So the Skin Render was killed by the Flametongue Cavu that was killed by the Murderous Redcap. Nick's down to 3.
It's like creature combat, but no one's even tapping. They're just coming to play and just like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead.
It reminds me of the old woman who swallowed the fly.
Yes. But why did she swallow that fly?
She got the Murderous Redcap to kill the Flametongue Cavu to kill the Skin Render.
And Nick's dropping her up, yep.
He was so close, though. He had the
4 damage.
Stoke the flames.
So really, he was taking the 4 from the Stoke mark, and then 2 on hit during his upkeep. He's at 3, right?
Yeah, he just needed one of those. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and take care, everybody. Bye.